Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade, and I am running wild backstage at the Today Show this morning with Bear Grylls and Julianne Hough. Brand new season of Running Wild with Bear Grylls, August 1st, August 2nd, two-night premiere on NBC at 10 p.m. Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade, and what a morning, because I'm running wild this morning with Bear Grylls and Julianne Hough. I was just telling Julianne before you came in, Bear, I used to literally binge Man vs. Wild. It is one of my dreams to go out with you, so I'm so jealous that you got to do that.
My dad's jealous, my brother's jealous, pretty much anybody who I come in contact is jealous, because it was pretty much the most epic adventure ever. It was so fun.
You are my hero, man. How do you do this stuff? Like, do you ever get scared? I would be freaking out. I'd be the guy who dies on one of the adventures with you.
Oh, no, you wouldn't, you know. So I've often learned the people who are most nervous, actually, that then really kind of come into their own, you know. So honesty and humility is the first step of empowerment, so good for you. But yes, yeah, thank you for watching all those shows. You know, it's the only thing I'm any good at in my life, and even that I always feel I'm pretty average, but I love the outdoors, I love the adventures, I love what it brings out in people. And, you know, Running Wild's been such a privilege to do. You know, I think you get to know people like Julianne and all these amazing guests we've taken out in a way you never would, just kind of looking all sort of, you know, prissy and pretty on a chat show couch, you know. So, yeah, great privilege.
How was Africa? You got to walk me through this adventure with him.
Oh my goodness, I mean, where do I begin? I think the craziest was the fact that, like, I didn't even really know where I was. I was just kind of, like, dropped in and, like, ready to meet Bear, and then we saw elephants and giraffes right from the get-go, and by meaning, like, seeing elephants, we actually, like, picked up their elephant dung and, like, squeezed it out, and, like, Bear, like, rubbed it on my face, like, the first...
I love how animated she got with that. It's like, whoa.
Squeezed it out, and anyway, so that was, like, the first, like, wave of like what the experience was going to be, but then it like turned into like hanging off of cliffs and like rappelling, and it was so much fun. It was pretty awesome. There was like snakes involved, cheetahs. I mean, literally everything that you could think of, we probably came in contact with.
It was good seeing her dance moves when she saw the snake. You know, because
like,
so far she'd been just moving through the wild, and she saw the snake. She was like, it was like you had to get the energy out. You got
yes, in the wild. Yeah. You're an athlete, so how difficult is it to do what he does?
It's amazing how effortless you are. Like, I was like trying to look like I was effortless and like following your pattern, but like no hands, just like leaping onto like another rock or something, and I'd be kind of like trying.
You were effortless, honestly. I mean, I've just finished filming with Shaq in the Adirondack Mountains with Shaquille O'Neal, and you know, he, for all his many great skills, he was not effortless sort of going, you know, he's got 350 pounds climbing up, but he's got the same spirit like you, you know, he never gave up, but you are effortless, you know. That's what I've often noticed, though, the girls are good, because they're light, they're lithe, they move well, you know, Shaq would just tree. So no, you were good.
Aw, thanks. It was so fun.
How do you get these people? I mean, you had President Obama to go into the wild with you. How does something like this happen?
Well, we sort of draw up a list of people we'd really love to take, and we reach out, and the difficult thing is often sort of juggling diaries and timings, but you know, we've been really lucky. We've had incredible guests, and I think what's fun is taking people who you kind of think you know, but you don't know, you don't really know what they're kind of like, you know, you're intrigued to know. And, you know, whether it's a president, you know, we always see him in front of the podium and looking smart, but actually what's he going to be like as a man on man, just on an adventure together? Or someone like Julianne, you think is just, you know, beautiful actress doing her stuff, but actually what's she like when she's covered in elephant dung, you know? But
smelly,
we've been very
so
smelly, yeah. But no, we've been really lucky with guests, you know, and we don't do a ton of these shows. We just keep them special, and yeah.
Are you scared at any point? Like, you and I were joking before we got here. I'm like, I would be the guy that dies. I would be freaking out. I would be crying, homesick. It would be awful. Were you going through any of those emotions?
I mean, there were moments for sure where I'm like looking down over this cliff where we're about to like rappel off of this tiny little like body spray with both of our ropes tied around. So like that was a little scary, but I don't know, like I feel like I'm in pretty good hands, so I felt like I was safe just trusting Bear. The only thing that really scared me though was like seeing cheetahs, because I was like, wait, that's like animals and they're wild, and like you didn't plan for rappelling down cheetahs. Like these
And
are
they're
cheetahs.
faster than
They're
us.
fast.
Yeah.
So that scared me.
Although you were, I think you forget the snake encounter. We were in
Yeah, the
this
snake was
tiny little
scary
sort of,
too, yeah.
rock squeeze about this high, crawling under this thing. It was getting tighter and tighter. We were just coming out, and then we just heard this, hissing, and
Literally like right next to it, crawling like, oh my gosh.
so then at one point I've got the snake in one hand, I got Jules in the other, and she's going, "Let me go," and I go, "No, you got to help get the knife." You got to sort of wrestling
He's so
this.
cool under pressure. It's unbelievable.
Well, no, she's going, "We can't eat that." And I'm like, "Okay, well, if we let this go, because this is a good dinner, you're going to have to eat something else we find." She goes, "Oh, I'll eat anything." And that probably came back to bite you in the
Yeah,
backside.
it
Not the
did.
snake, but
No.
that commitment.
Who is one dream guest, one person you'd love to take into the wild?
Well, we just done the Today Show with Jennifer Lopez. Should be amazing.
She would
Yeah.
be awesome.
Yeah. Oh, do you know that? Love to take Tom Cruise. I think he's in that category of to find out what he's like behind that kind of
he'd be
status.
awesome.
He's an action junkie too,
Yeah.
so it's awesome.
But we're really lucky. We get a lot of our top sort of hits. So yeah.
So when you get the call and they're like, "Hey, do you want to do this thing?" What's your reaction?
Well, it was kind of a mutual thing, because I was like, I'm such a fan, like I want to do the show. So the fact that it worked out and lined up so that we could do this, you guys actually had sent me like, okay, there's some different places where would your dates line up if you did it here, and it was South Africa, and I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta do that. So I don't know, I was so excited, I was so pumped. Literally, I mean, jet lagged as all get out, because we got in like the day before, and then that's what, like 12 hours ahead or something like that. So I was like all over the place, but it didn't matter, because it was like the energy and the adrenaline when you're actually out there. I mean, I could have stayed up for 3 days. So
Have you ever had a moment where you've been scared?
A moment every day, most days, really. I mean, yeah.
You're so cool about it, though.
Oh, there's a lot of flapping underneath, But yeah, I mean, I think you learn in life and in the wild that being scared is okay, but it's how you react to it. And I just try and treat it as a trigger to be alert and to focus and do what I'm going to do well. But I've learned that the best way over my fears is always to go straight through the middle, aim for them rather than run from them. And but yeah, definitely scared regularly. I find these sort of things awkward. I'm always scared on press days. I'm still scared parachuting, having broken my back in a free fall accident. There's so many things that scare me, yeah.